Hello, this is James Reese for another Razor Wire and a coffee with Jim. It's Friday morning. I believe my video has been already uploaded on the Colonial Pipeline item. We were having problems uploading it yesterday, so I'm not sure if it's gone live yet, but this is a bit of an addition onto that. So I got in this morning quite early, opened up my laptop, got myself sorted, sat down and checked the news. And boom, in my feeds, there is a story that the Colonial Pipeline has indeed paid the hackers nearly $5 million in ransom. Now, this was broken by Bloomberg. It's on the register. And I just felt that I had to kind of jump straight on and do an additional video to the one that's either uploaded or going to be uploaded this morning. Wow. So they've paid. This has quite interesting implications. Ransom money works because people pay it. Otherwise, people wouldn't do it. And whilst this is not no doubt one of the largest payouts, the largest payout was purportedly 50 million. It's still significant. It's significant in a number of ways. One, that's 5 million gone from their coffers. Two, now that they've paid the ransom, it further validates the ransomware group's activities, that they can get payouts. So, of course, they're going to do more of it. Whether or not they do more of it on SCADA systems, critical systems, I don't know. There's a lot of people who think they probably will. It'll be an open door for them. They know they can get payouts. I'm not so certain they will. I think what this has done, I mean, they're used to a certain level of publicity. I think this publicity has probably scared them a little bit. It would do me if I was in that game. I'm not, but if I was, I'd definitely lay low for a bit and just work on commercial targets, not big organizations like the Colonial Pipeline, that kind of thing. Okay, it's lucrative, but they don't want that focus on them. It's gone all the way up to obviously the US government and various other governments now probably checking out their own systems to see whether or not they're going to potentially suffer from a similar kind of fate. I don't think they're going to follow on with this, but it's a shame that the ransom was paid, if indeed it was paid. I mean, obviously, it's a news article, so we can't tell 100% whether or not it's true. But I'm pretty certain that in this case, it probably is pretty accurate. It's easy to panic when you are, in charge of a large organization with critical systems and services, that something gets affected by a security event. Then you tend to go all out and you tend to spend vast quantities of money fixing whatever the problem may well be. And in this case, it's $5 million to the ransomware guys to get the tool in order to decrypt everything. Now, purportedly, it was happening very, very slow. And they were continuing on with their own efforts to restore from backups and to get everything up and running as well. But 5 million still gone into a criminal gang's coffers. They're not going to stop anytime soon, not with that kind of money available to them. A lot of them, this particular group, very much in Eastern Europe. There's different places people saying this is coming from, but it sounds like it's from the Ukraine. That's a lot of money out that neck of the woods, that can support quite a few families. So they're not going to stop. It's just going to get worse. I think they might, as I said before, get their heads down a little bit and just stay under the radar for a while. You don't want to get too much heat on you from government bodies. Let's face it, if you're a criminal gang, that's not what you really want. You want to be able to do what you do. And okay, you're going to get PR. There's always going to be news articles of companies that have been attacked by ransomware. But this is a pretty big target they're painting on themselves. They're going to be continuing to do this kind of stuff. What does this mean for the future? Well, 5 million is a lot of money. If you'd spend 5 million on security, you can do a lot with that type of money on security. It's probably, again, for an organization that size and that complexity, it's probably a bit on the low side still to spend on security. But, you can do a lot with that kind of money to build your security out so that you're not going to experience this kind of event, or it's very unlikely that you're going to experience this kind of event. A lot of people are saying, hate to be in an IT department, hate to be in a security department. Yeah, absolutely. It's a security person's worst nightmare. On your watch, all of a sudden, boom, ransomware hits. It doesn't look good, and no doubt, will keep you up for nights, and hopefully you'll still have a job at the end of it. Security is easy to blame. But at the same time, you've got to look objectively at your organization and say to yourself, if you are a business owner or the C-suite or the executive group or whatever, shareholders, you need to really turn around and say, are we doing enough to secure our business? First rule of business, secure your investment. Etiquette of a banker, from way back, that quote. Look it up on Google. It's one of my favorites. But it's absolutely correct. You cannot afford to overlook security in your organization. If you don't spend enough, then you will be vulnerable. If you spend too much, or you go overzealously with your security, then you can make things very, very difficult for people to do what they need to do. It's a fine balancing act to get security right, but you have to try to do it. Ensure you have baselines, build baselines, defense in depth, security awareness, phishing tests, email security, web security, DDoS protection if you're in an organization with a service that's reliant on the internet. All of these things are really, really important to look at. Good governance, good incident response. Now, incidents like this have happened. War game this incident in your own environment. Sit down with the relevant team of people and war game or role play through what you would do if you had some ransomware attack you. It is a popular method of attack, so you may as well do it. At the end of it, you will have at least a very good plan of action on how you will handle it, where your chinks in your armor are, what gaps you need to fill, and then you can obviously go to the powers that be or free up some budget to be able to put in countermeasures to prevent something like this from being effective. It won't 100% protect you, but it'll go a long way to making sure that you're not going to suffer the same kind of fate. And at least if you do, you can recover from it efficiently and effectively. That's what security is. It's not just about preventing it; it's about recovering from it. Hopefully, catching the people who've done it and bringing them to justice. Cybercrime is really, really, really big business. It's very difficult to prosecute because you've got people attacking you in different countries where there might not be extradition treaties. It's difficult to figure out who they are quite often. They're well funded, obviously. They've just got 5 million in the bank. And they will use a large portion of that to then build out their own capabilities. You've got to remember what a lot of people forget about criminal gangs, cyber criminal gangs, is they are every bit as organized as a company quite often. They've got their own budgets, they buy their own tools, they deck themselves out to be able to efficiently and effectively attack, compromise, take advantage of organizations whose security is low or they have vulnerabilities, that kind of thing. The difference between, the cyber criminal and the cybersecurity professional, the information security professional, is the cybersecurity people, if they're doing it right, they're much better funded. this is just going to get worse. I mean, you can look at all different articles on the internet at the moment. Like Cybersecurity Ventures is usually quite a good one, where they say how much cybercrime is going to cost in 2021, in 2022. Now, some of those predictions were before the recent pandemic and the recent spat. I think they're going to go back and relook at their figures, and you're probably going to find that the original figures they came up with are probably going to get doubled. It doesn't surprise me. Look, it's a lucrative type of crime. It's very difficult to catch people. It's not like, somebody going into a bank, sticking a shotgun up, teller's nose and saying, fill the bag full of money. These days, you're likely to get caught, very likely to get caught, because security has been built around that capability. It's been built around catching physical attempts to steal assets, money, whatever it may well be. But digitally speaking, we're still fighting to keep up because of the nature of how it's done. You can sit in Australia and you can compromise somebody in the States, and you can command $5 million off of them. Just use that as an example. Obviously, it wasn't somebody in Australia, or very doubtful. Might well have been. Who knows? But this is what we're looking at. So what do we take from this? As I always say, and you see in a lot of the interviews and what have you, do not scrimp on security. Fund your security people. Get security people in for a start. Fund your security people well. You don't have to go nuts. You don't have to, give them your entire operational budget for the year. You've got to give them something, though. If you've got revenue streams to a certain amount, look objectively at those revenue streams and then assign a percentage of that, at least a small percentage of that, over to the budgets for security. Okay? Security is an adaptive, ongoing thing. It's not something you can just fund for 1 year and then forget about for subsequent years. It is an ongoing thing. Apologise, I should have turned my phone off. So here we are. That's thrown me. I apologise. Let's see how this one plays out. There might be some more information that comes out. If there is, then I'll cover it in a later video. Thank you for watching Razorwire. Please feel free to like and subscribe, leave a comment. It's great for the algorithm. It's great for us. We've got a lot of great new followers from this. We've got, view counts coming in. They're getting higher and higher and higher. So we know this being effective. It'd be great to hear from some of you on anything you want us to cover, anything you want us to do, to speak about, maybe help out with. If you want to get in contact with us privately, then the details are down in the descriptor. Feel free to give us a shout anytime. We're more than happy to help. Speak to you soon. This is James Reese from Razorwire, and have a great day and have a good weekend. Cheers, mate. Bye.